Running, one of the most important parts of Minecraft. Whether it be running through the end to kill the Ender Dragon and beat the game, or just running through a field. You've probably hit your sprint key thousands of times. Whatever your sprint key is binded to, left control, R, or maybe you just double tap W, the reason you sprint is to go faster. The faster you go, the more stuff you can get done, right? So what is the fastest you can go just by sprinting? There are many ways to increase your running speed in Minecraft. Speed potions, certain blocks like ice, and even blocks above your head can all help you run faster. We are going to combine these effects together to find out how fast a player can truly run. According to the official Minecraft Wikipedia page, a player can run about 5.612 meters per second. This is equal to about 12.55 miles per hour. Also, a player can walk 9.66 miles per hour, and a player moves 15.98 miles per hour when sprint jumping. Weirdly enough, this is much faster than a human. Based on a page from Runner's World, the average person can run a mile in 9 minutes and 48 seconds. This is equal to about 6.15 miles per hour. This is much slower than the average speed of a Minecraft player, which, if you remember earlier, was 12.55 miles per hour. And this is only sprinting. But anyway, I'm getting off topic, so let's figure out which Minecraft running method is the fastest. First, we have shifting. This is the slowest form of moving in Minecraft. To make sure each run was measured equally, I put one block to the side of the start, and I would shift so I was on the edge of the block. Then I would move left until I was straight. This would ensure that I was always starting at the same place, which meant that the platform was the same length for every run. You can see my little timer there at the top to measure the time for each run. And also, I have my timer on a hotkey to make sure I have consistent timing for each run. We eventually end with a time of 36.65 seconds. If we take our distance in blocks, which is 50, and divide it by our time, we can get the blocks per second, or BPS for each form of movement. In this case, shifting lets you move at about 1.36 blocks per second, which is 2.88 miles per hour. That's pretty slow. Walking, however, is a lot faster. If we use the same setup as for shifting, we end with a time of 10.97 seconds. That's less than a third of the time that shifting took. We also end up with a speed of 4.56 blocks per second, or 9.66 miles per hour. That's already about 1.5 times faster than a human. Next up is sprinting. This form of movement is already over 10 miles per hour, 12.55 to be exact. That's also equal to 5.86 blocks per second. For the last basic form of running, we have sprint jumping. This is the most common form of movement used by the Minecraft community. It scores 7.4 blocks per second and 15.98 miles per hour. This is the fastest one so far. Now we will start getting into the interesting stuff. Potions of speed are the first thing that we are going to test out. Potions of speed increase your movement speed for a certain amount of time. There's two levels of speed, 1 and 2. Although 2 is faster, it does run out more quickly. Anyway, we will start with speed 1. Speed 1 ends up with a time of 6.47. This is 7.73 blocks per second, or 16.38 miles per hour. Next up is speed 2. Remember, it does the same thing as speed 1, but you go just a bit faster. This one ends up with a time of 6.25. That's a nice even 8 blocks per second, or 16.95 miles per hour. What's interesting about speed 2 though is the fact that you actually will move faster if you don't jump and only sprint on the ground. So if we time out that, we actually end up with a faster time of 6.07, which is 8.24 blocks per second, or 17.46 miles per hour. So if you ever have a speed 2 potion, make sure to stay on the ground to go as fast as possible. Another feature that can help make your player run faster is putting blocks over your head. If you start running and spam spacebar while blocks are over your head, you will become much faster, although you might get a concussion from bonking your head against the ceiling over and over. This strategy gives us a time of 6.09, which is 8.21 blocks per second, or 17.4 miles per hour. This is only slightly slower than running with speed 2. But what happens if we combine the two? Well, the answer to that is speed. We get a time of 4.79, which beats last time by over a second. This lets our player move 10.44 blocks per second, or 22.13 miles per hour. Now that is fast. What else can we do to improve our time? Well, in Minecraft, when you jump on ice, your movement becomes slippery. From just jumping on ice, we get a time of 5.37, and we can move 9.31 blocks per second, or 19.73 miles per hour. Although it's not as amazing as our last run, what if we add them together? Just how much faster can we go? A lot faster. From adding them all together, we shave off a full 2 seconds off our time, which is amazing when our time is only a bit over 5 seconds. We end up with a time of 3.37, which is 14.84 blocks per second, or 31.45 miles per hour. That is literally as fast as a car. Our players can move quite fast. So, we end up with this time of 3.37. I don't think there's anything else that can help improve our speed, so we're stuck at 30 miles per hour. But what about Soul Sand? Soul Sand is the slowest block in the game. It speeds you down considerably, and jumping across it doesn't help at all. But in the newest update, the Nether update, they added a new enchantment to the game called Soul Speed. This enchantment makes it so that, based on what level of soul speed you have, you can run very fast on Soul Sand. So, just how fast? So, here we have our Soul Speed 3 boots. By just sprinting, we end with a time of 5.26, which is 9.21 blocks per second, or 20.15 miles per hour. That's pretty good, but it doesn't beat our record. What if we try jumping? Just like our Speed 2 potions, it's actually faster to not jump and just sprint. This gives us a slower time of 6.01. This is equal to 8.32 blocks per second, or 17.63 miles per hour. The last thing we can try is putting blocks over our head with Soul Speed. Unfortunately, we can't have both ice and soul sand below our feet, so we'll have to see which one is better. Running and jumping against blocks gives us a time of 3.87. That's unfortunately a whole half second slower than our fastest time. It's only 12.92 blocks per second and 27.38 miles per hour. We tried our best, but Soul Speed just couldn't beat the king. Congratulations to the best method of running, speed, ice, and blocks overhead with a time of 3.37. Thanks for watching, and if you liked the video, please leave a like. It helps me out a lot. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. And finally, if you have any feedback, let me know in the comment section down below.